Hi guys, and welcome to your daily tarot reading for Monday the 9th of January 2023. I want to use the Aquarian Tarot today. So let me just show you these cards. They're really small because they come in this tiny little tin. So I'm going to choose 4 cards for today's reading. Let's see what the tarot wants you to know about this day and what energy you'll be working with. Right, so let me choose the cards. First, we've got the Devil, okay. The Hierophant. The Queen of Cups. And the Ten of Wands. Okay, so you're facing a lot of very serious people here today. That's the sense I get, that it's just like, okay, but you want this, then I have to follow your rules. You say I have to do all of that if you're going to be happy with me. It just is going to result in this, I feel, which is a sense of being completely overburdened. So I think the main thing and the warning I'm getting from these 4 cards is don't let yourself be bombarded or bullied into something. If it doesn't sit well with you, then it doesn't sit well, and you're entitled to say that. Also, if there are only so many hours in the day and someone is asking you to do yet another thing on top of everything else you've done, then it's okay for you to say, listen, I can only do so much and I'm going to have to delay that for another time, or look at it tomorrow. And that's the way it is, because I can only carry so much, do so much. So the Devil, I'm taking as a similar force here of like something that makes you feel trapped. So the Devil is the 15th card in the Major Arcana, and it's about taking your practical circumstances too seriously. So we've got this Pentacle, which is upside down. When it's the other way around, it means spirit over matter. And in this case, it means matter over spirit. And if you get into that headset, then everything becomes overwhelming. Because if the job suddenly is really important, or where you live, or all these things, and that's the only truth and reality, it grinds you into the ground. So the Devil card is a very important card right in the meat of the Major Arcana, that says at some point you have to realize that the stuff is just stuff. And you can't drive yourself nuts trying to control every detail in your life, because really that's the devil is in that. That's the thing that makes you feel joyless and like stuck. The Hierophant is actually a card that's very much about spiritual mentorship and understanding. But because of its proximity here next to the devil, the message I'm getting is like, some kind of church leader saying, do what we say or you'll end up in hell, which is an old classic. So the Hierophant can be incorrect in those kind of cases, but the Hierophant is the 5th card in the Major Arcana. It comes much earlier, and it's your first exposure to kind of the wisdom of other people. So that absolutely is available to you. But I do think that the focus via these 3 people is, if you do hear a message that's incorrect or inappropriate, 1, try not to take it so seriously and personally. Like, do you have to take this on board? If someone says something, like based on their religious beliefs, and they try and impose that on you, for example, is it something really you have to get upset about, that they chose to do that? I mean, sooner or later, that kind of stuff has to be, I find it's easiest to just stick it in a drawer of, this really is none of my business, so why should I get emotionally invested? So I suppose that information that you seek out is something that can free you and educate you and give you what you need. But there is also the potential for misinformation. And if that comes in, look at it clearly and say, this is going to work for me or this isn't going to work for me, so I'm not going to take it on. The plus side of this card then is that if you're looking to make a plan for the future, if you're trying to kind of get lots of opinions or ideas together, the Hierophant helps you very much with that kind of thing. And it is the 5th card, and 5 in numerology is freedom. So I do think there's a sense of the truth will set you free, or information is your friend. One, because it actually gives you like the action steps and the details that you need. But second of all, if something comes at you that does try and make your life smaller or puts a huge burden on you, your clarity of vision and ability to look at all the information says, actually, that's not appropriate for me. So thank you, but no thank you. The Queen of Cups is usually a card that's very much about love and connection and being taken care of and taking care of yourself. Maybe it's just me and my response to the Aquarian tarot here, but she also seems very serious and she seems quite rigid. I mean, there's a flower on the cup, but the whole expression is quite one of authority. And then we have these lightning, these lines that look like lightning bolts. So there's more about the physical world and control, and that's the message I'm getting, that don't let the physical world control you, and don't let people who you love and where you really care about their opinion, don't let them control you or manipulate you. I mean, this could be like, for instance, you've got a relative who's very OCD about her way of doing things, and you go and visit and everything becomes controlled. You know, you put that over there and the orange has to be turned to the front, otherwise it's wrong. And you start to feel very controlled, but because you love this person, you go along with it because you don't want to upset them. But for you, the experience then minimizes you and makes you go silent, and it silences your voice. And I mean, I think most of us have been in that kind of situation. Is it really worth completely abandoning yourself just so another person doesn't get upset? Because to me, that's like an institution that traps you then. Same as an excessive focus on your practical circumstances can trap you. Letting misinformation govern your life can trap you. And emotional manipulation can trap you too. So that's one way of looking at it. The other one is that the Queen of Cups always exists in you, and she's very healing. She's very able to make things beautiful and to give you a sense of well-being, and she's connected to water, so her intuition, the higher realms. So I think this is a card that either extends the message of these two, or it's where things change. Because if you use your intuition as well as your ability to inform yourself, and you say, okay, everything that this person is saying, it sounds right and all of that, but it really doesn't work for me, it doesn't sit right with me, then it's that moment where you say, thank you for the information, I need to sleep on this a little bit until I know how I feel, and I will get back to you, rather than letting yourself be pressured into something. Because that's what the ultimate outcome here can be. The Ten of Rods is someone who's completely overwhelmed and who's trying to keep all the plates spinning and keep everyone happy and everything moving, and it just becomes this huge burden, and sooner or later he has to take a break so nothing happens because he just let too much accrue. And the card is saying that you can't be everything you can't be everything to everybody. Sooner or later, yourself is going to demand your attention too. That's another body that you need to take care of. And you're not doing yourself any favors by letting yourself be overbooked. It's going to be much better to edit that down to 2 or 3 ones and to work with that, and to put the others on hold so that you don't take this huge break, so that you do keep going, and that the process doesn't feel like this arduous journey, you know? So I think on this day, it's a case of getting people off your back, or not letting yourself be intimidated and stressed out by everything you need to take care of. Absolutely take care of 1 or 2 things, but you're one person and becoming super anxious and running around, that's not going to help. It will then mean you're less productive and less able to sort things out. So it's one of those difficult things, you know, like if you take things too seriously, they get on top of you and sometimes you can't get out from under. If you take on a lighter approach and say, oh, well, you know, it's just money, for instance, then ironically, that's what helps you to take care of the money, because you're not seeing it as this looming trap that you have to deal with. It just makes the load much easier to bear, and it does give you a way out from under. So please do take care of yourself, listen to your gut, inform yourself, watch out for misinformation and your own head misinforming you about the seriousness of certain things, and keep it light as possible, and be nice to yourself. 15 and 5 is 20, and 1 is 21, and 10 is 31. 3 and 1 is 4, and 4 is security and structure. And that may be the big concern of the day, similar to the devil, that something practical in my life is become very difficult, and I'm letting it suck all the fun out of my day and my life, and I have to take care of myself within that. If you let yourself be totally crushed by something, then not only has the situation kind of not been resolved, but also you've got another problem because you're devastated. So by keeping this, wearing it like a loose cloak rather, you've only got one problem to deal with instead of two, and there's actually a way for it just makes the solution much easier to get to. So I hope you have a great day despite all of this. Don't let yourself be ground down. If you would like a personal reading with me, please get in touch via my website. It's gregoryscott.com. On the front page, click on book your reading to audio reading with me. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Please hit subscribe and share the video online. Have an amazing day, and I'll speak to you tomorrow.